So this will look a little different than yours, and that is because Flexmls is flexible. You can customize the experience to your own specific preferences, and that starts with the dashboard and ends in 100 different other avenues throughout the system. So I'm going to start by just kind of sharing the mindset of looking at Flexmls kind of like you're reading a book. That feels maybe a little elementary, but it'll open your eyes to a few little nooks and crannies that maybe you didn't otherwise notice. So if I look at the top left, going left to right, top to bottom like a book, if I hover over Flexmls, you'll notice that it turns from an arrow into a finger. That finger is always going to indicate that you have something that you can click on. And clicking on the Flexmls icon is always going to bring you back to this dashboard page. So if you've gone down a rabbit hole, you're on a search, you're on a contact management, whatever, if you want to always ever come back, just click on this icon and it'll bring you back to the dashboard. Moving over to the right, you have your quick launch bar. Hopefully you're really familiar with this if you've played around or if you're a user of the Flexmls system already. It's like the Google of Flexmls. It's super powerful, our most used system in the feature. Just by clicking on it, you'll see I'm already served up with a few different options to jumpstart into a search, a recent search that I've ran. Or if I start to type, just like Google, the more specific you can be, the better results you're going to get. But let's say I just start to type in Lois. It's organizing all of my results. You've got your listings that match Lois in the criteria, and we're rolling up the most recently changed or active properties so that it's super fresh and relevant. All the members that match Lois, offices, and then one of my favorite features of the system is comparable, one-click comparable search. We'll cover that later. But I'm going to kind of be toggling back and forth between the mobile app as well, just to show you the power of the system. So if I minimize my screen, this is my phone, we're live. Hopefully mom doesn't call. I do have it on Do Not Disturb. But so I have two apps on my phone here. On the top is Flexmls Pro. That's your app for the real estate professionals. Below that is the Flexmls for home buyers app. So dedicated to your client. They work very similarly. It's a very consistent experience, so you can help troubleshoot your clients super easily. If I open the Flexmls Pro app, you'll see right away we land you on a search because our user research shows that everything stems from a search. So you've got that same quick launch bar up top. Again, I just tap on it and I've got those same results as I did when I was on the laptop or on my computer here. And there you have that same consistent result set. If I go down, I've got all those same members, offices. So you're learning and mastering one system. That's the beauty of Flexmls. What's great about the member search, I'm going to pick on Lois. If I pick on Lois here, I have all of her contact information, or if I'm on the road and I just remembered that this property was Lois's, I don't remember the address, there I have all of her listings right there on the phone, on the fly, and I can dive right into it, grab address, directions, driving, all the relevant property information you'd need right on your phone on the go. So that's just one of the many ways that the mobile app is consistent with the desktop experience. Moving back to my computer, let's use that, drop me back to the desktop little shortcut. Guided help, I'm going to hit on this a few times. I'll point out a few different areas in the system where this is useful, but really lean on this resource if you're new to the system or if you're trying to learn a new functionality. It's just like having a trainer right over your shoulder, walking you step by step, learning these different features and functions. You can do this on nearly any function in the system. Not going to run through it right now, but it's a really powerful tool that you should definitely leverage when you're navigating the different pages. Moving down, I mentioned this is customizable. Here we are, the message board from the MLS. All of these little gadgets you can bring in and create and customize to your own personal preferences. It's as easy as just clicking on these little ellipses, settings, and you can come in and tweak all these different. So I brought this in for Edina. You can bring in your own different statuses, whatever specific city you want. You can drag and reorder this. So really just all the information you need at a quick glance, right on your homepage. That's right under the customize option. You can recreate multiple dashboards. Again, use your guided help to show you how to do that. Maybe if you have a pen and paper, it might be helpful to write down some of these things to go back and revisit later. And then if you want to change your dashboard over to the left, you have your options right there. So the MLS created one for you here. Okay, so that is your home page, but I would be remiss if I didn't call out the favorites bar. So right below your quick launch, you have this favorites bar here. We're all creatures of habit, right? So you're probably frequenting different functionalities over and over again. So if I open up this full menu, it's all organized pretty well, but rather than coming in and hunting and pecking every time, maybe you are always looking for office member search. If I just add that star, there it pops to the end of my favorites bar. If I remove the star, it goes away. It's as easy as that. And this persists on like 99% of the pages in Flexmls. So add your favorite functions to the favorites bar so that you can quickly access these while you're on the go. And let's jump over to a search just to show the power of quick launch in action. Even though I have quick search here, I could click on it and open. I also can search for menu items. So here's quick search. Let's open that in a new tab. We want you to be able to multitask. You're constantly working on a couple different projects, I'm sure, aren't we all? So leveraging the multitask is a super powerful functionality of Flexmls as well. You'll see we just dropped 12,000 listings without skipping a beat right on the map. So there you have it. We are on a quick search. So what makes quick search quick? This is a single page application. So everything that you need to do in relation to a search happens right here on this one page. You're not jumping out to a bunch of different tabs and starting over, though we just proved that you can. If you want to run a couple different searches at a time, you can have multiple tabs open. But to run and execute and save and share a search, everything happens right here. So let's take that for a test drive. Keeping with our book mindset, we have top to bottom, left to right up here, your templates. So this is a lot of fields, which is fantastic. Surely some of you leverage a lot of these. If you want to get crazy, I mentioned Flexmls is flexible. You can create your own template. So these templates drive the fields that are showing on the left-hand side. So I went and created my own custom template. You'll see I just clipped out a few that weren't relevant. I'm frequently searching on fencing, you know, just as an example. So I brought that in so that I don't have to constantly come in here and add a field or whatever fields. Every time I'm coming in to do a search, I just created my own. And then maybe you're searching on farm, just really streamlines the experience, right? So we'll just stick with residential here for purposes of our example. Let's dwindle down. Let's say we want to look in Edina. There, you'll notice the map zoomed me right in, so we can leverage the map functionality if you want to do some searching on the map using those tools, just dwindling down. And then over here, of course, is your display. So we're searching on the left. You're previewing that data on the right here, and that's leveraging these tabs over here. And then on the row above that, you're taking action on those results. So we like to use the narrative of search on the left, search, find on the right here on these tabs, and then act on the row above that. So search, find, act. I mentioned we've got some different opportunities for searching using the map functionality. Over on the right, you can toggle over if you prefer a satellite view. And then we've got a few overlays that the MLS has brought in for you. You've got counties, flood zones, zip codes, and you can even create your own overlays if you want to, if maybe there's a specific neighborhood you want to be able to look at every time. You can draw and create your own shapes and save those. So you could write that down as an opportunity if you want to get wild and crazy. Oh, down over here, we have a couple different functionalities. If you want to draw, we've got your different opportunities for polygon, create your own multi-shaped. So you're just clicking every dot and then double clicking. Oh, I got too crazy. Double clicking to close that. Now we've constrained the search a little bit more. You can zoom in, you've got your nosy neighbor over here. And then zooming in down there, and then your little color legend if you're bringing in different information. Okay, so now maybe you prefer jumping right over to photos. Maybe you want to look at it in a single spreadsheet grid line view. The choice is yours. So again, you're previewing that data on these tabs over here. So you could jump right over to photos if you wanted to and start filtering through. Maybe you want to go over and see it in a single grid line view. Then you just go to the list tab. And maybe you prefer it a little more condensed. You want to drop these thumbnails on the left. You just do that right on this top bar here. Single line view. Maybe you need to crank up the volume. There's your zoom text size a little bit. Again, so many opportunities to customize. If you wanted to, you could even change the order or just the content that comes through. Maybe the association isn't important to you. You don't want to see this when you're looking at the single line view. You can customize your views to bring in the information that you want. And again, pull out your pen and paper. That would be your view. You can come in and create your own custom view. I'm not going to do that right now, but just want to highlight the power of the flexibility of Flexmls. And then just clicking on these headers would organize the content there. Maybe you want to sort by days on market. Easy to do. Maybe you want to go back to the photos. You'll notice it left me on the 5th photo. So I don't have to start over in my previewing of the information. It left me right where I was. So the whole goal and the power of Flexmls is that it's flexible. We want to get you in and out of the system as quickly as possible. So let's jump over to the detail tab. This is where you're going to have your full detail report. Again, that same tabbed interface persists here on the detail tab. We have all of your third-party integrations up here, and there's more on this more arrow as well. So single sign-on right into these third-party integrations right from this tab. And yes, these do follow through to the mobile experience as well. So when you're in the mobile app, you'll find these integrations. Maybe you want to change the report. This isn't your favorite. Maybe you want to use the full. The choice is yours. You can set this up as a default. So if you find a report that you like that you want to see every time you come in, you can go into your preferences and set that up as a default so you don't have to come in and toggle this every time. And then you have your history, both property and listing. Just collapse this, get all the information. Maybe you want to look at the last listing, pushes you right into a new tab. So you can go in and preview kind of what's changed, allowing you to multitask. And then maybe you've gone through and you're jumping and reviewing and you realize you want to change your search. You haven't lost your place. You just jump over to edit search. And there we have the ability to continue to refine the search experience. Maybe you want to change it to 4 baths. Maybe you want to get rid of your polygon. It's as easy as that. So then we have 65 results. You click that. And then you can just kind of iterate and move around, consume that data from there. View the properties on the map. There's your subject property. You could click and get more information on those different properties. You've got your cards here from the map. So let's say we're happy with these results and we want to save this search and send it out to a client for auto prospecting emails. So We did our searching on the left, we're previewing here, and then we're going to take action on those results. All of those action items take place right up in that row again above the preview tabs. So share, these are your more social settings. So if you want to share a listing out, if you can text from desktop, grab a link and save the or share the link with the client. No matter how your client receives these listings, it's going to look the exact same. So that's the beauty. It's one consistent experience for your client, no matter how they're picking up that information or no matter how you're sharing it. So you can email, interactive version, I would encourage. That's always up to date, dynamic. And so that's pretty simple. We auto that to public. You can choose whether you want the documents to tax info or open house information to carry along with that email. Here we're going to save, so we can save the search. That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to save this search for our client. This is a new client. This is Steve Eli's family search. You can add as much or as little information as you want. I don't have him as a contact yet, so we'll just add him on the fly. Super easy to do. All you need is a little bit of information. And it's asking if I want to create a portal account for the prospect. Absolutely, I do. This is a branded website that my client can log into. They can search for their own properties. They can see all the properties that have matched the criteria, this Steve Eli's family search, all the houses that match that. We can message back and forth, anything you'd expect for your client to be able to do both on either a computer or their mobile app that I showed earlier. It's one synced experience. So let's invite Steve to the portal. If you know Steve really well and want to really refine his experience, you can open this additional search options to customize that. Let's save and add the subscription. And then here we can add another contact. Maybe you want to add Steve's wife as well to get emails. Do we want to get him weekly, just on Sundays, or right away? Is he just a looky-loo? Maybe he wants to get monthly emails. Choice is yours. You can create email templates to go along with those. Just going to bypass that for now. And then we'll save. So we just saved the search and added the subscription for Steve to get those auto prospecting emails all in one fell swoop here, searching, previewing, and taking action on the top. And now you'll see this is updated in the left-hand corner. Now we're working in Steve Eli's family search. Just to kind of round out some of these action items, maybe you want to print a few listings. So we've got 65 here. Maybe that's a lot for the printer. I like to be a little earth conscious. Maybe you were reviewing and you just wanted to print out a few. Notice as I'm selecting, we have 4 over here, and then we have 65 in the result set. If I were to go over to edit, maybe we want 6 bathrooms just to prove a point here. Now we have 12. If I jump over, we still have those 4 selected. Even though there was 12, we went from like 60 something to 12. I still have those 4 selected results. We want to print those. You can choose to print all 12 or the 4. And all kinds of opportunities again to customize which report you want. Do we want public or private versions of those reports? Do you want to include the map, photos, history? The choice is yours. And again, you have the option to save these presets so you're not starting over every time and having to rework these preferences. Just save those. What's really great about our print experience is that it's paginated. So let's say you did choose to include documents. If you want to send these to the printer, it's going to print one listing at a time. So we've got the listing detail report and the history. If there were documents, they'd follow. Oh, there's a document right there. So you send this to the printer for all 4 properties and you pick it up and you're on with your day. You don't have to shuffle through and reorder everything. It's going to print in the way it's sorted out right here in order. Okay, so just to drive home that consistency, if we go over to contact management, shifting gears here, there we have Steve Eli. He's already in my contact manager. Let's take a look at our phone. And on the bottom is my sort of navigation, my menu items. If I jump to contacts, there we have Steve Eli on the bottom, already sunk in my phone. I just created that recipient or contact and save search on the desktop. It's live right there. So our contact management system is really powerful. Let's take a look at Bradley Cooper. How lucky am I, right? Got Brad as a client. So even just before opening the contact records, you'll see that it's exactly the same. Bradley is rolled up to the top because he's been my most active client. So you see that activity bar the last 7 days. So I know right away who is kind of a hot lead, if you will. So if I open Brad's record, you've got all of his contact information here. And then that same tabbed interface that you're familiar with from the search. So if I go over to activity, again, same exact experience. I can see he's viewed 11 listings. Yeah, it's really cool that Brad can favorite and hide listings, but we take it a level deeper and show you exactly what he's doing. So he's looked at this property 3 times. Okay, that's interesting. What about that property might he like? He shared a couple listings. So, all right, he sent this to his girlfriend. What is it about the, Code Avenue property that we're really interested in? Do I need to reach out to see if he wants to go look at that? Going over to searches and subscriptions, I can see everything that he has been set up for. He has one search. If you have a client that's maybe looking for or entertaining a new build or, a rental property, you can have more than one search attached to a client. And then over to portal, here's really what is a great Flexmls feature is his most recent unsaved search. So I can see exactly what Brad is doing. So he's got his saved searches that I've created for him, but he can search on his own and I can see exactly what he's searching for. So maybe we never talked about a full fence. I didn't have that set up for him in his search, but he's searching for it. So maybe that's a trigger that I could reach out and say, hey, Brad, I just want to make sure I'm meeting your criteria. You're seeing properties that are matching what you're looking for. And then any messages between Brad and I would be in here. Of course, also on your phone as well. You'll actually see on the bottom right of my phone, I have a 4 indicator. If I click on that, it tells me right away, that's a notification that I have 4 unread messages. There's my message from Brad. I could also pick that up from his contact record, right? But here it is, super easy for me to jump right over to the property. I can respond to his message right there, or let's go look at the property. Here we have it on the desktop. So just a quick side-by-side experience. So all of the information that you would need for the property on your phone, categorized really nice and neat, easy for you to jump to the information on this ribbon bar right here. How cool is that? So if I want to jump right down to the price history, I don't have to scroll 6 times down to get to the price history. Documents. And then I mentioned all of those third-party integrations that you have on your computer are right here for you in the mobile app. And that includes single sign-on. So you don't have to go in and log in over and over each time. It'll just log you right in. I'm in a test account, so it's not going to work for me, but maybe you're on the go and you want driving directions. Right there, if you hit the map, is your driving directions. Member information, we kind of looked at that earlier. There's Amber's information. Maybe I need to call her, text her, or whatever. Okay. While I have this open, I'll just drive home one more piece of consistency. We're on that quick search. I'm gonna go over to search. If I wanted to search on my phone, same exact experience. Let's go to a new search. It drops you right on the map, just like we are on my phone, or I'm sorry, on my desktop. Okay, drops us on the map. I'm gonna close the map. And then if I go to filter on my phone, I have all those same filters, even that custom template that I created. So there's Katie's custom search on my computer and Katie's custom search on my phone. If I go to filter, you'll see all those same filters. If you look at the bottom, I have fencing, waterfront present, acres, all in the same positional order. So you're not skipping a beat when you're working on the road. You know, fencing is on the bottom. You scroll to it on the bottom on your phone. Super easy, super consistent. Okay, let's see. Moving right along, I was going to share with you one of my favorite features, one-click comparables. So let's just refresh. Actually, I'm going to show you, we're going to leverage the functionality of multitasking. So I'm going to open General Preferences, push this open to a new tab. A lot of opportunity to customize, again, of course, your experience. I mentioned this multiple times already, but just as an example, right out of the gate here, I mentioned you can choose your default report. This is where you would do that. So if there's a specific report you want to see every time you're going in and searching, set that right here. You can even choose to jump over. So every time I click here, I come into the dashboard. You could choose to jump over the dashboard and go straight to a quick search every time you log in if you want to. That's a really neat feature. So that's where you do that. So I would say, encourage you just to play around with these tabs to customize the experience to your preferences. But what I wanted to call out here is the comparables tab. Let me show it to you in action, and then you can kind of get where I'm going with this. So let's say you have a client calls and they said, what do you think of the price on this property? It's 5701 Lois Lane. Again, we use that Lois example. If I scroll all the way down, there's that property, 5701 Lois Lane. If I click on that, what we're doing is pulling in predefined criteria into a search. So it's got my subject property and we're doing a half-mile radius, looking at these different statuses, active, pending, closed. Looks like we're doing a year back. And then we're looking at like for like on bedrooms and bathrooms. So what we've done is brought that over to the stats tab. I skipped over this one earlier, but if we're previewing the data, on the very end, we have stats. If you click on that, so we're 2 clicks in to a really quick comparable search. So what we're doing is summarizing the data on these properties so that you can come in and say, yeah, Steve, it looks like you're probably going to be spending a little over ask on a 4-bedroom, 4-bath house, and it's going to sell really fast. So there you have it. Some more data to really just prove yourself as the market expert in literally 2 clicks is all that took. So this is a really powerful feature and function. So if I go back to edit the search, this is where you can really customize if you want to bring this out to a mile radius, or you could change this on the fly, of course, right? But if you go back to your general preferences, this is where you can customize that. Maybe you want to drop active, do some variation in bedrooms and bathrooms. You can update all of those preferences right here. So that's one-click comparable. You could also do I just jump to refresh the quick search here. You could also run a comparable by locating the address. So if I'm using my map on the lower right, we have this push pin. I can enter the address here. Locate it. Let's do a radius search. There, we're zoomed in. Maybe you don't like that. You want to create your own. We already kind of looked at the polygon. You can create multiple shapes. So we've got multiple shapes. Maybe you want to drop that circle. And then you can kind of tweak and play around with all of this information here. On these statuses, if I'm using my command button, I can bring in multiple statuses. So that's how you multi-select over in that bucket. And then this is cool. You can do days, months, years back. This is really a powerful feature for saving a search, to use relative days back, so that if I were to save this and it's looking at a year, you know, in 6 months, it's going to really be kind of wonky, right? If you're looking at a specific set date range. So I really like to use the relative days back feature. So I know there's a lot of TLC that goes into a CMA. So pardon my poor example here, but I just want to share with you the experience and the steps that it takes, right? So you've got 4 results. Maybe you're good with that. These are stellar comparables. Not only do we have that stats tab, but you have your CMA feature up here, right? Because that's an action. So you're previewing the data on these tabs, taking action on those results up above. So if we go up to a CMA, we've got a couple different flavors for you. One-line CMA is just going to bring in all of that information condensed in a single line view. So that's a nice, easy one. And then we have, we'll just use all since we just have the 3 other options in here. Again, able to customize this to your own experience, bringing in the data that's important to you. You can change the aesthetics of it by the color. So this is the full CMA. You just walk step by step, refining it. We're not going to do a CMA right now, but leveraging that guided help. I mentioned earlier, we have it right here. You may have noticed these little eye icons. So here's guided help in action on this specific page. Or up under the help in the upper right-hand corner, you have help and help with this page. That's another really great resource. Another flavor of guided help. We also have a full academy, so and training videos. That's another great opportunity to learn about the system and more complex features like a CMA. All I would do here is type in CMA. And then we've got all kinds of different recordings. Maybe you prefer written help. You like to read about different functionality. Oh, we have create a full CMA right here in our written help tutorial. Okay, maybe I'll pause there. Steve, do we have questions? Been answered?
We do, and I clicked the wrong button and put it to answered, so I'm trying to change it back. But the question was, how do we get the username and password on the mobile app? The mobile app will actually use the same username and password that you use on your desktop side.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Another, we talk about a little reporting. Under the menu, we've got your statistics tab. I'm not really gonna deep dive into the reporting here today, but one I do really like is the market trends graph. And in my multitasking earlier, I opened that up because there's lots of data. So this one is really powerful for a lot of reasons. You can bring in the information that's important to you by toggling these little bar graphs below. We've got that same familiar tabbed interface to look at, slice and dice the data that you're after. And this can be run off of a saved search, or you can do your own saved search. So we have all of my saved searches in here, and your quick search templates if you wanted to go through and create and filter by a specific search. And this runs 10 years back. So if you wanted to go back and look further than whatever we're looking at here, 2.5 years or so, you can do that. Let's see. I have really flown through this. Steve, what else? Any other questions? I just saw a bubble pop up, or maybe that was, he's got it taken care of.
Yes, someone asked or said that they can't get logged into the mobile app using their credentials, and I think there's something funky where you have to type in n star dot and then your username and then your password to get into the mobile app. I don't know why that is, but I think that I found success doing it that way.
Awesome. We've got some time, so yeah, definitely try n star dot.
And then your ID, and then once you've done that, you should be able to use the same password, and it should get you into that app.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, David. Let's take a look, if you're interested, at what your client experience is. So in my example earlier, I shared the portal. I set up Steve for a portal, right? So we'll use Brad because he's been in and active. So it'll, I've got to log in credentials for him. But if you're wondering what your portal looks like, if you go into your contact manager, your portal URL is right here, and you can customize that if you want to. Again, that's under general preferences. Right? Let's see. Steve, am I right on that?
Sorry, I was in question mode. What was the
Customize. Oh, it's no, I'm thinking I'm in the portal. Here we go. It's its own menu item, portal preferences. That's where you could customize your portal URL. But to grab what yours is right now, go into a contact record and then into your portal tab. Your URL's right here. So let's go look at my test portal. So this is what I'm in a test, fake user account. This is, or fake agent. So this is what my portal looks like. If I had any active listings, I don't, because this is a test account. They would be displayed right here. So your listings would be highlighted for your clients to see right here. And I'm logged in right now as Bradley Cooper, my client. So this is what Bradley sees. This is my, I didn't set this up. This was whoever created this test account, but this would be my headshot. So it'd be branded to you, and all of your contact information would be right here, your email, anything like business card kind of content would live right here. And let me open my phone because I am logged in as Bradley on the consumer app as well. So just one more time, on the next to my cute little dog's face there on the right on the top is the Flexmls Pro app. That's for real estate professionals. You're going to log in using n-star dot and then your traditional username and password. Below that is Flexmls for home buyers. I downloaded both of these apps in the App Store. They're available on Android or iOS Play stores. So I'm opening now the home buyer app. So I'm logged in as my fake client, Bradley Cooper. You could do this for yourself too. It's very easy. Just create a contact, invite them to a portal. You'd need a fake email address. We use this website called Mailinator. So you can create fake email addresses to play around and test that experience. But so here we are. logged in as Bradley Cooper, my client. So this is your client's experience. So if they are messaging you, this is their experience, whether they're on their computer or on their phone. This is Brad's view, the exact same experience. If he wants to go in and search on his own, same exact experience. He's even got some ability to do his own drawing. You can search by GPS location. You can do that as well on the Pro app when you're searching. Maybe you're on your way to do a preview and you drive by and see an open house sign that you're, listing sign that you didn't notice before. You can pull over, open the app and hit this little GPS location and it'll zoom you right to where you are on your location. So I'm logged in again as Brad, my client right now. Here are the filters that Brad has set up to look at. He can add a field if he wants to. If I go over to saved, these are where I have all of those saved searches. So this is Brad's saved search. He hid one listing. Again, he can hide and save, and I can recommend listings to him. So super consistent, very easy, familiar interface, right? This looks a lot like what I was showing you on the Pro app. So here I am as Brad, drilling in. There's the ability to favorite and hide. Persisting on the bottom, save, hide, share. Exact same experience, guys. How easy is this? If I'm Brad and I'm looking at all the information, it's just simple to jump down, toggle. Again, I'm not scrolling. Documents. Notice all the public documents that are attached to a listing are here for Brad to look at both on his phone and on the computer. Contact agent right here if I want to message myself. Hopefully this isn't getting confusing. Again, I'm working as Brad right now, my client, and this is his experience on the app and on the desktop.